I've had hundreds of conversations with founders and a handful of VCs about what the future of Outbound looks like because I've sent hundreds of thousands of emails. And specifically, what the future of go to market looks like. And email is just one channel. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into all of the things that I think are true about AI, data, automation systems, the SDRs, etc. But more importantly than that, I'm queuing up to create a maybe hour, maybe 2 hour long video that actually goes through all of these individual tactics for you so you can see me do them. It's a totally different experience. My new friend Ben, the CEO of Olark, watched me do this in his house the other day, and we just went through the types of things that you can do to be able to allow human discernment at scale with AI and deployment with AI. And this is all really, really important for how to think about it. And generally, people have it all wrong. They think if I just use AI to write the email, that'll use AI to personalize. That is the worst use of AI. Really, the best use is to try to sort and score the world. But let me actually dive into my tips. And then if you want the full video, comment below with something that with what you think about the future of AI is here. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's kind of dive in quickly. So, what today is sort of dead, and a lot of people are building companies based on this theory of triggers, right? If they're hiring now, I sell jobs data, right? So if they're hiring, then send a message, hey Jordan, you're hiring a salesperson. Throw away that salesperson and use my automated whatever, right? It's like some puke about your company, about the solution, and then interesting, right? So this is mostly dead unless you're sending hundreds of thousands of emails. You don't give a fuck, which is possible. A lot of people do this. A lot of people send just a ton of emails, and they understand that the game is a diminishing reply rate, and they'll just milk that because it's relatively cheap. But I think even this trigger world, which is new for many organizations are still doing in a persona world. I think this trigger world is not the future, because the reason is that the trigger world is saturated. And that is to say that the more you do of it, the less useful it becomes, right? People used to send messages when people raised money. Everyone does the same thing. The trigger becomes useless. And so the problem is that the more people adopt a product, the worse it becomes for everyone. And that's generally not how great products work. It should be the network effects actually improve the product. So I want to talk about a different approach here. And this is sort of what I think replaces this model. So the first is this AI scoring of leads. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. To take AI and give it the context, I have this framework called Creative Constraint with Context that will teach you about this. But really, it's to give AI all it needs to be able to have a better level of discernment than even SDR to say, should we even send this person a message? And that goes at the company and the person level. We've been stuck with the tools of the past, which are headcount, industry, etc. But those things are useful, but they're very, very blurry. They don't really give you a good understanding. The titles might be different at a company. Someone might not be responsible for a technology or a tool or an adoption at all, but you get their persona and you think, I'm going to send them a message. So this will really help you limit the types of people that you reach out to and also find the needle in the haystack. So really, this is super important. AI research. There's a lot of things that AI can do today that will go out and do programmatic research, that will search the web, that will go to a website, that will look for news. The AI bot can do what your SDRs are doing today and structure that in the exact same format every time so you can use it for your messaging or campaigns. And AI research no one is talking about. And I don't know if you know this, but ChatGPT has a browser built in so you can have it do market research for you. You can have it investigate things. You can even do things like paste in LinkedIn profiles and ask it specific things. Now I'm going to teach you how to do that programmatically, but at small scale, you can just do this yourself and see how this works. AI adversarial buyer personas. So these are the fake buyers that you can create. You can even model it after your real buyers. Feed in a bunch of information and say, tell me why this message isn't right for you. Tell me what about it doesn't resonate for you. What do you care most about? Now, one of the best performing campaigns I've ever run recently has no personalization. It actually was just based on a theory from a conversation with an expert. That's it. And so that kind of leads me into my point 8, which I'll skip around, is like good market insights beat everything. If you understand what Peter Thiel knows, which is what is the one thing, that's a question that he asked, what is the one thing that you know that most of your peers disagree with you about, right? That you believe. So this is really important because this is what a good earned market insight is. And if you can communicate and stop people in their tracks, they will listen. AI writing snippets, so super valuable to have AI just write individual snippets for you. AI is not really good at writing a full email because it's all trained on the stuff that that like Steli Efti put out in 2011, which is like, hey, write these exact emails. Now, the reason they publish those emails is because they don't work anymore. Why would they give you away the thing that's working best for them? No way. It doesn't help them at all. So AI snippets are really good, and you can have AI do a great job at this, but you need to confine it to a snippet. AI insights with data. Remember, AI can consume a whole lot of information and understand where that information comes from and where it's going to. So it's really good at digesting, summarizing, and reformatting, and that's very helpful. A perfect example of this is like summarizing competitor reviews. Value-based approach, no ask. That's where you give something to someone with no expectation of anything in return. It's where you provide them value. And value does not look like, here's a PDF for you to read. What value looks like is, hey, Jordan, here are 3 actual companies that use your competitor that seem to be coming up on a replacement window. Now might be a good time to reach out. That's the end of the message. That's a value-based message where you can send them something actually useful at scale. Adaptive email system. So these are just the infrastructure that you need to be able to land in the inbox. This is pretty straightforward now. There are a lot of great modern tools like Smartly that will help you with this. And as I said, and the thing that it always gets back to is good market insights. Most companies honestly shouldn't exist, and they were created in a world of 0 interest rates. And we know we shouldn't exist because the best thing that they know how to do is to take the persona list that they download from Apollo and blast that list. And that's not just because they don't have insights. It's because that they don't really know the things that their customers know. So they're not even adept at finding that information from their customers. And this is a couple of conversations away. Remember, your customers have spent their entire lives going to the moment to buy you, and they have some unique insight. They're not idiots. They have some unique insight about why they chose you over everyone else. And so I think that the future of sales growth are these sort of 8 tactics. And I'm going to walk you through a video about how actually they practically can be done by one guy in a basement that's building a piece of software that hasn't required any venture capital and is using software that doesn't require venture capital. Everything is getting cheaper. Now, the AI that I'm talking about to do this is fractions of a penny per company, per person. It's very low. And it's only going to, I think I read a stat the other day that OpenAI has gotten like 40 to 80% cheaper, and it will only continue to go down. And most of the things I talk about, GPT 3.5 is fine, which is like an order of magnitude cheaper than GPT 4. So if you're interested in watching the full video about how to actually operationalize these insights about the future, comment below with your thoughts on AI in the future or what you're doing that are different than these things, and I would love to share it with you. Thanks so much for watching this preview video, and I'll be posting on YouTube, and let me know if you want to see it, and I'll see you in the link when I'm ready. Bye.